everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. I am in the midst of doing my top favorite makeup products for the year 2024 per category. Decided to split it up into top 3 videos. And today I am going to be talking about highlight. Now, highlight is something that, or highlighters are something that I feel like you either love or you don't like at all. Like, some people just don't want a highlight on their face. I'm not one of those people. I love a really pretty highlight, but as the year end of 2023 and 2024 rolled around, I really reach for basically cream highlights or liquid highlights. I have a whole drawer of powders. I have a lot that I love and a lot that I will still occasionally get out. I don't dislike them at all, and definitely not enough to get rid of them. However, I just feel myself gravitating more towards cream and liquid because I feel like they look a little bit better on my skin as I get older. So my top 3 this year are all cream highlights. I don't have one on today because I'm trying out a new one that I have, but I am going to be cutting away to demos of me using all of these so you can see what they look like on the skin. The first one is the one that I have had the absolute longest, and it quite honestly is, let me see. How do I put this? It's not the most natural looking out of all of these. It kind of ties with another one as far as how natural it is on the skin, but it is the one that dries down the most to a powder finish. And that's just the good old Clinique Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlight. I've talked about this a lot in the past, and you can find it in my description box where I list what I have on in videos all the time on a very consistent basis. This is definitely more on the neutral / pinky white side of highlight. Like, it doesn't have any gold in it whatsoever. And there's just a slight tinge of like pinkiness, but it's not enough where I would consider it a pink highlight. It just isn't gold. It doesn't have any warmth to it at all. They do only have one shade in this, which is really, really unfortunate because obviously not everybody's going to be able to use the same shade. And it's such a good formula. I want everybody to have access to it. But again, it does dry down to a powder finish. There's nothing that's going to stick in this because I do love a cream highlight, even the ones that give like a tacky finish where sometimes your hair might get stuck in it. I do love those. But if you're someone who doesn't, then this is definitely one to look into because it is one of the most dry down to powder formulas that I have in the form of a cream. Another one that's not new to me this year by any means and that I've talked about endlessly and is one of the more tacky ones. Last year, that category would have gone to the Merit Stick, which I still love. But this year, I reached the most for my Westman Atelier in Nectar. This is called Nectar because it does have like a peachy undertone to it in the stick. But when you swatch it, I mean, you have to look really hard. There's no peachy undertone to me. This is it. This is definitely neutral. If you really, really looked, it might have a slight warm undertone, but it's not gold or yellow or anything like that. Now, this is a tacky formula. And out of all the ones I'm going to talk about, it is the one that gives the highest level of shine on the skin. So if you're someone who wants subtle, probably not going to want to go with this because even if you use a tiny amount, you're still going to get high shine. But it still looks like skin. It still looks very, very pretty and natural despite being extra, shiny and highlighty. And I do feel like out of all the ones that I talk about, I get the most compliments on my skin when I'm wearing this one. And maybe it's because it is a little more obvious. I'm not sure, but it's just beautiful. Now, it is a little bit tacky. I have no issues with my hair getting stuck in it. But if you're someone who despises the feel of any tackiness on your skin at all, I probably wouldn't choose this one out of the 3. But if you're someone who doesn't care and you like the look of just a beautiful, plump, high shine highlighter, that is definitely the one to look at. And then finally, this is not a highlighter, and it is just another example of how you can be very versatile in how you use your products. Just like I use blush for eyeshadow all the time, and some eyeshadows I have used as blush, you can also use eyeshadows as highlighter, which I have done for years with my Jane Iredale Allure eyeshadow. It's one of my favorite powder highlighters. But this year I discovered Gressa. And Gressa is a more natural line. And this is the eye tint in Oreo. Aureo. And look at just how pretty that is. The only complaint about I have about this is the more I've used it, obviously the deeper it goes into the well, and it's harder for me to pick up with my fingers. I can use a brush, but I like a bigger brush for highlights so it covers more space. So that's the only complaint that I have, but it's just this gorgeous champagne. Yeah, it works great as an eye tint, but I love it as a highlight. There's just something special about how this lays on the skin. This is another one that kind of ties with the Clinique as to how natural it looks on the skin, because it does look very natural in my opinion. And this one dries down more to a powder finish as well. Maybe not as powdery as the Clinique, but still definitely not tacky at all. And clearly the smallest, most travel friendly of the three that I'm talking about. But I mean, even if you don't want to try this one and you have eye tints, like cream eyeshadows in your collection that you like the undertone of, try it as a highlight, because I promise you are going to find one that you love. There's just something about using this product and other, eye products as highlighters that seem to really work for me. And that has been my favorite eye product turned highlighter that I have discovered this year, and I use it all the time. So that is it. That is a roundup of my top 3 most used, most reached for favorite highlighters of the year 2024. As always, I want to know what your favorite was down in the comment section below. And I'm kind of sad because we are almost done with this series. I only have one more day left, and that is blush. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll be doing a whole other series for foundation. No worries on that, because that's my favorite. So I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.